What if the secret to living past 100 wasn't hidden in a pill, but in a vegetable so bitter most people can't stand the taste? In Okinawa, Japan, where more centenarians live than anywhere else on Earth, this unusual food is part of daily life. It's called Goya, and while it may look strange, it could be the missing piece to unlocking energy, strength, and longevity. Did you know that one of the most bitter vegetables in the world is considered one of the secrets of Japanese longevity? Called Goya or bitter melon, it looks exotic, full of ridges, with a taste many describe as challenging. But behind this intense flavor lies a true arsenal of nutrients that go far beyond what most common foods can offer. And it's precisely this characteristic that made it an essential part of the Okinawan diet, the region with the highest concentration of centenarians on the planet. Goya is rich in antioxidants, fiber, vitamin C, and bioactive compounds that help regulate blood sugar and protect the heart. It also contains anti-inflammatory properties that strengthen the immune system and improve digestive health. In Okinawa, it's so valued that it became the star of a traditional dish called Goya, shampuru, a symbol of vitality and local culture. Few people know, but this vegetable is even studied by scientists as a potential ally in preventing chronic diseases related to aging. But perhaps the most surprising detail is that for the Japanese, Goya has never been just a food. It's a daily habit that connects tradition, health, and longevity. Eating a simple dish with this vegetable is part of a lifestyle that keeps people active and independent well into their 90s or even 100s. And if in Okinawa it's so present, the big question arises: how can someone outside of Japan have access to this ancient secret? That's exactly what we'll explore next. Finding Goya may seem like an impossible mission at first glance. After all, it's not usually on the shelves of common supermarkets. But the truth is that this Japanese secret is closer than you. Think. In many U.S. cities, you can already buy fresh, frozen, or even pickled Goya. You just need to know exactly where to look. And once you discover these places, you realize that this longevity habit is within anyone's reach. The first step is to visit Asian markets, especially those serving Japanese, Chinese, or Filipino communities. In these stores, Goya often appears in different forms, from fresh versions to ready-to-cook packages. In addition, local fairs and farmers markets in culturally diverse cities also offer the vegetable. And for those who prefer convenience, several online stores specializing in Asian products deliver it straight to your door. The most interesting part is realizing that Goya is no longer a secret kept in Okinawa, but has become accessible, even in Western countries. This opens the door to turning a simple Japanese habit into part of your own routine. But here comes the inevitable question. How do you prepare such a bitter vegetable without losing its benefits? That's exactly what we'll discover next. The biggest challenge with Goya isn't finding it, but learning how to handle its intense flavor. For many, the first bite can be a shock, since the bitterness is strong and hard to ignore. But here's the surprising detail. That strong taste is precisely the sign of its nutritional power. The good news is that there are simple techniques to soften the flavor without losing the benefits. In other words, you can enjoy the best of the vegetable without having to suffer through it. The most traditional way to reduce bitterness is to slice Goya thinly, sprinkle it with salt, and let it sit for a few minutes. Then, simply rinse it under running water to soften the intensity. Another tip is to pair it with eggs, lean meats, or even sweet fruits, creating balance on the plate. This way, the flavor becomes much more pleasant, while the nutritional value remains intact. This is the strategy used for generations in Okinawa, and it's precisely at this point that Goya transforms from a difficult vegetable into a versatile and delicious ingredient. By applying these techniques, you discover that it can be part of different everyday meals without complication. But preparing it is just the beginning. The next step is to learn how to turn it into practical and irresistible recipes that fit even the busiest routines. And that's what we'll explore now. If you think cooking Goya requires complicated Japanese culinary techniques, you'll be surprised. The truth is, there are simple, quick, and incredibly tasty recipes that anyone can prepare at home. The most famous classic is Goya champuru, a stir-fry with eggs and tofu considered a signature dish of Okinawa, but that's far from the only option. With a little creativity, Goya can appear at breakfast, lunch, and even in refreshing juices. 1. Of the easiest ways is a quick stir-fry with eggs, combining protein and nutrients in an energy-packed dish. Another option is a cold salad, thin slices of Goya seasoned with sesame oil, soy sauce, and a squeeze of lemon. For those who prefer drinks, just blend the vegetable with sweet fruits like apple or pineapple, creating a nutritious and balanced juice. And if you're into comfort food, adding Goya to soups or stews is the perfect choice. These recipes prove that even outside Japan, it's entirely possible to incorporate this ancient habit into daily life without complication. More than just dishes, they're small gateways to experiencing the energy and vitality of Okinawan culture. But the benefits of Goya are not limited to the physical body. The impact goes further, reaching the mind and even mood. And that's what makes this vegetable even more surprising. What makes Goya even more fascinating is that its benefits are not limited to the physical. Studies show that consuming this vegetable regularly helps stabilize energy levels, preventing spikes and crashes throughout the day. This means more vitality to walk, work, and even enjoy hobbies without the constant feeling of fatigue. And it's no coincidence that Okinawan centenarians remain active well into advanced age. Beyond energy, Goya also directly influences the mind. Its unique combination of nutrients aids mental clarity, improves focus, and may even reduce symptoms of stress. That's why Okinawans see Goya not as an isolated dish, but as part of a philosophy of life. Eating this vegetable daily is more than a dietary choice. It's a commitment to vitality, independence, and lasting well-being. But what truly transforms this practice into a longevity secret lies in something even simpler: the daily repetition of small habits that may seem insignificant, but change everything over the years. The great lesson from Okinawan centenarians is that longevity doesn't come from big revolutions, but from small, consistent choices. Eating Goya doesn't require huge amounts or sophisticated recipes. 1 or 2 servings per week can already have a visible impact. Over time, this habit becomes a natural part of the routine without conscious effort. It's like a silent secret, built day after day. These small habits work like bricks building the foundation of health. Alone, they may seem insignificant, but together, they create a solid structure of energy, vitality, and resistance to premature aging. Okinawans understand that there's no shortcut to longevity. It's the sum of micro-decisions repeated over years that builds extraordinary results. Goya is just one example, but it symbolizes this entire lifestyle. And this is exactly the philosophy we can apply anywhere in the world. It's not about changing everything at once, but about starting small and persisting. Because a simple habit like including Goya can be the first step to transforming the body, mind, and even the way we age. And the big question now is, how can you bring this ancient secret into your life, starting today? Okinawan longevity isn't hidden in expensive supplements or miracle treatments. It's born from simple habits, cultivated with consistency over decades. Goya is just a clear example of how nature can provide energy, vitality, and independence into ages many consider impossible. And the best part? This secret is within your reach. You don't need to change everything at once. A small step, like trying Goya this week, can already open the door to lasting transformation. The secret is not in quantity, but in consistency. It's daily practice that shapes not just the body, but also the mind and the way we age. So now, it's your turn. How about starting today? If this video brought you value, subscribe to the channel to discover more secrets of Japanese longevity, recipes, habits, and natural ways to live with more energy. After all, your body is always listening. The question is, what will you offer it from now on?